Thursday. It totally, for me, feels like a Friday. But anyways, let me know that you're here. Say hi if you're watching. I'm gonna wait just 1 minute until the clock turns 1 o'clock until we start. But please say hi. Let me know that you're here. And the first question, I have a question for you, but I'll go ahead and wait until people start hopping on. If you're watching the replay, please let me know. Just put hashtag replay or something that lets me know that you are watching the replay. But today is all about why you need to be planning during this pandemic. And we're gonna get started. Okay, I see 4 people, awesome people are hopping on. If you are here, say hi, give me a thumbs up or a heart if you can hear me and see me okay, just so I know everything is working well. And we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, Brittany. Hi, Claudia. Good to see you. Can you guys hear me? Just let me know if you can hear me and we'll get started. So my first question before we dive into today, which is why you need to still be planning during this pandemic. So my question for you is, where do you stand in regards to planning? So go ahead and type in 1 if you're still planning, you're still hitting the ground running, you're still finding your vendors and going on Pinterest and pitting all of your ideas and getting things together. So type in a 1 if you're still planning. Type in a 2 if you have just stopped altogether. You have a mentality where it's like, you know what? I have no idea when this pandemic is going to stop. I have no idea what it's going to be like on my wedding date. I'm just going to stop until we know more information. And okay, Sharice won. Yay! Good. You should still be planning, girl. Her wedding is next June. And type in a 3 if you're kind of in the middle, where you're still kind of planning things, but you're also like, well, I don't want to set anything in stone. So you're just kind of in limbo a little bit. Maybe when the mood hits or the mood strikes, you're still planning. Faith won. Awesome. Good. I'm glad to know that you guys are still planning. So today I have 5 different things that I want to go through, and make sure that you have the worksheet. Oh man, I forgot to get the link for you guys. Let me grab that real quick. Deanna 2. Okay, so Deanna, let me know why you have stopped planning. Is it because, or Deanna, are you not planning right now? I can't remember. What the reason is. But if you're willing to share, let us know, because I would love to know. So let me grab the link real quick for the worksheet. Make sure to save a copy or download it, because with this link you can only view it. So here we go. Sorry for the delay. Please say hi if you're here. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And we'll go into step 1 really quickly. There we go. Okay. So sorry, I should have had this ready. Totally forgot that I needed this for y'all. You can also find the link in the event that I have. Okay. So the first reason why you guys, hi Yvette, oh, it's good to see you. How are you, darling? So the first reason why you need to be planning is that vendors are going to start just dropping like flies, as in vendors are being booked up really, really quickly. Venues are being booked up really, really quickly. And it's almost like one of my wedding professional friends, they were like, wedding vendors and wedding venues are going to be like toilet paper. And at first I was like, what the heck? What do you mean? But it's so true, because you know how at the beginning of this pandemic, like in March, early April, there's a link for you guys. In March, early April, toilet paper was going so fast, as in you couldn't even find any, right? You had to go to a gazillion stores or just like use paper towels or something. And it's going to be the same for wedding vendors, because think about it. Everyone has moved their early summer and spring weddings this year to either later this year or to next year. And people aren't going to stop getting engaged and people aren't going to stop getting married. And so we're going to have almost like a doubling up of all of these weddings in late this year and next year. And so wedding vendors are going to start really dropping in availability, especially those that have experience, especially those that have been in the industry a long time, and those that do really, really high quality work for you. And so that is one reason why you need to be planning, is that if you wait until later, most of these vendors and most of these venues are going to be booked up. And I don't want that happening to you. So get on the ball, be proactive, find your venue and your vendors, and then you won't have to scramble later on or just have to settle with possible vendors that aren't as great quality or that just aren't what you're looking for. I know for me, in my case, as a wedding planner, I'm booked almost the entire fall this year. Like every week in August, September, October, my November's filling up. And so this is definitely happening with other vendors as well. So definitely get on the ball with that. Don't let it be your toilet paper, okay? So that's very, very, very important. So my question for you before we go into the second reason is, have y'all booked many of your vendors? Which ones do y'all still need? Let me know, and I'll wait until I see it in the comments. I know that there's a delay, so sorry about that. Denise, hello. Good to see you. Okay, awesome. So yeah, let me know if you have found your venue, if you have found many of your vendors, and which ones you still need. Okay, so going into step 2, if you're following along on the worksheet, so Ashley, all but the caterer, all of mine are booked. Yay, that makes my planning heart, my wedding planner heart so happy, because you won't have to run into that later on. So good, good, good. That's awesome. Okay, so step 2, reason 2 of why you need to still be planning is you actually have time to plan right now. And I'm speaking not to all of us, but to most of us. Some of you have kids, which can be crazy. Some of you are homeschooling, which I think summer has started already, so hopefully that's not on your plate anymore. But most of us have a lot of time to plan. I know when this pandemic started that I didn't know what to do with myself. Honestly, I was just bored silly. And so, good, Faith, you have all of them. Awesome. Okay, so I want you to take this opportunity of time that you have right now that you are not going to have later on, especially now that people are going back to work, that companies are starting to open up, and all of that, okay? That now your kids are still home from summer, they're not going back to school anytime soon. And so use this time to plan. And I've been really encouraged because I've gotten more people, more brides reaching out to me for my services than I have really like even before the pandemic started. And so that's really neat for me because I know that they're taking this time to actually plan their wedding and reach out to vendors, which is awesome. So I really, really encourage you to do the same because most of us have more free time than we have had in a while, if not ever. So use this time to plan, look up your venue or your vendors, look up your caterer, Ashley, Yvette. Yeah, so Yvette, do you have your DJ or are you still finding a DJ? Bartenders. So Denise, do you still need your bartenders or do you have them booked? Vanessa, I had to move the date for July to November, and they also had the dates open for November and all switched. Yay! So, so, so good. And that's great too that, Vanessa, you already had your vendors and you already had your venue, because then you were already in with them and you were able to communicate with them right away and that they were still free. Okay, Vanessa, only thing we have to do is get the groom and son their suits. Awesome. Vanessa, when's your wedding date? How much time do you have for that? Yeah, use this time to plan, find the rest of your vendors, and just, go on Pinterest, find ideas, do your research, all of that. So my question to you is, have you guys been using this time to plan? And have you been using your more time that you've had? Have you been using it to plan your wedding? Denise, I need to make sure the bartenders we had booked for April can reschedule for December. Yeah, and Denise, go ahead and just reach out to them now. Earlier is always better than later. Yvette, yes, I have one. Okay, great. Which one did you find, girl? But for others, I notice it's hard to find. They book up so fast. Yeah, DJs book up really, really fast. That's one thing that I actually have. The brides that I work with, I have them find their DJ first, one of the first things, because they do book up so fast. My wedding is next year. I know, I'm so excited. But things are booming fast. Awesome. Vanessa, we went for July 26th to November 22nd. Oh, okay. So, girl, you have a lot of time with finding the suits. Go to Men's Warehouse or Generation Tux, any of those. Denise, having a difficult time getting them to respond to my emails. Yeah. That is always a red flag for me. Just being a wedding planner, I want to make sure that you guys have the best quality vendors. Now, Denise, tell me more about that. How long have you been reaching out to them? Have they been slow to respond to every email, or just a couple these last couple of weeks? Was it just during like the rise of the pandemic? Because that is something too, is we need to have grace and mercy for everyone, just given the circumstances, but you also want to feel comforted and secure in your decision. Jessica, hey girl, my wedding is late September. Everything is booked, but I still feel like I have so much to do. Yeah, preach to the choir, girl. I hope I don't forget anything. Yeah, and there's everything is online. There's great resources. Or Jessica, reach out to me if you feel like you're forgetting anything. Having a wedding coordinator or wedding planner also is a wonderful way to make sure that you are not forgetting anything. So just reach out to me if you have any questions or need help. Vanessa, I have my dress, venue, photographer, DJ, family bartender, sis-in-law, my wedding planner. Good! I'm glad she's helping you with your wedding. The food we are getting for Latin Marketplace. Nice. And food is ready that same day. My sister is marrying us, and the groom and son suits, and we're good. Nice. Denise, I reached out several times a couple of months ago. Haven't heard back from them. Ooh, so you reached out to them a couple months ago and they still haven't responded? Okay, you might want to start reaching out to other people. Have you paid them yet, Denise? Because if not, I would bail and go somewhere else, because that's just not okay. It's not professional, not okay. Jessica, I don't have one. I need one. Girl, reach out to me. I do wedding planning and coordination. I'd love to work with you. Yes, I'd love to work with you. Please reach out to me. Getting cake at Sam's. Yes, I love Sam's and Costco. They're my favorites. So good. Okay, so the next thing. Thank you guys for letting me know about that. So this is step 3, if you're following along on the worksheet, or if you're taking notes, which I highly recommend. So the third reason why you should be planning. So the first reason was venues and vendors are going to go really, really fast in availability. You have more time to plan than really ever before. And the third reason is weddings are back, you guys. And I'm so excited to say that because I've waited so long. But weddings are back and they are happening. And I actually finally did my first wedding since really February because everyone else postponed. But had my first wedding this past Friday, so about a week ago. Oh, it was so beautiful. And weddings are happening. I don't know if you guys saw my post yesterday, but venues are now back to 50% capacity, which is awesome. They were up to only 25%, but now they're up to 50%, which is great. And so venues are reopened. And I hate to say this, I'm really divided because my heart was so happy about it, but my mind was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But at this wedding on Friday, it was almost completely normal. Like, if you had just walked in without knowing that there was a pandemic, you would never know that something was going on. No one was wearing face masks, which I was a little worried about. But thankfully, as a planner, like, I don't have to be close to people. I could social distance myself. But there was dancing and, drinking and buffet and dinner and cocktail hour and just everything, like everything normal. There was almost nothing that changed except there could only be 6 people at a table instead of 8. But even with that, and so weddings are happening, they're back, and so it's just going to keep going. And of course, there's the the possibility of a resurgence of the pandemic in the fall with flu season. But it's too soon to tell. And it's always better to have a plan right now, to plan early rather than wait and then be super, super stressed. And so what have you guys seen? Have you been to a wedding since this pandemic started, since March, April? March really was when it came. So have y'all been to a wedding? Have you heard about weddings going on? What do you guys think about venues reopening? Are you super, super excited, or are you like, this should not be happening as soon as it is? What are y'all's thoughts? I really, really want to know. I'm really, really curious. Denise, thank you for the advice. You're welcome. Keep me updated, Denise. Yay! Yeah, Jessica, just message me or I'll message you. One of those. Denise, I'm going to move on. Good. I'm glad. So yeah, let me know if y'all have been to weddings, if you've heard about weddings going on, and what your thoughts are on that, because I'd love to know. Faith excited. Me too. I've missed weddings so much, y'all. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited for you guys, especially those of you that have summer weddings, because those are gonna just keep continuing. Fall weddings, it's still too soon to tell, but I have hope and positivity. Shelby, I have one this month on the 20th. Okay, so Shelby, do you know much about it? Like, how many guests? How do you feel about it? Are you excited? Are you scared? I know that when I had this wedding on Friday, it's like part of me was so excited and part of me was like scared out of my mind. But it ended up being okay, hopefully. I know the incubation is 2 weeks, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. Okay. So, fourth reason why you need to still be planning is you need to plan for plan B. You already have plan A, but realistically, given the circumstances, plan A either you're already going on to plan B, you still have a plan A, and you don't have a plan B. So even when you start planning, you just need to have a backup plan. And this will ease your heart, it will ease your venue's heart, all your vendors' hearts, and my heart, because I want you to make sure that you have the wedding of your dreams and that you're prepared. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you need to stop planning. This just means that, okay, you're still going for plan A. Let's say you have a wedding in September or October or November, and you just, full steam ahead on plan A. But with plan B, to just have that in your mind on the back burner if you need it, ask your venue what their policies are regarding their cancellation policy. If you were to cancel the wedding altogether, which I don't recommend. 2, what their postponement policies are in case you were to just move the date. And 3, what their refund policies are. So whether you cancel it, are they going to give you any refund? Which most won't. If it's a strict cancellation, most will not give you your money back because of the contract and what it says. But if you postpone, most are willing to take the payment and take your deposit that you've already paid and just transfer it to the new date without any fees, which is awesome. But just ask, you guys. Just ask, so then if it comes up, if you have to cross that bridge, when it gets there, you have a plan and you know what to do, and you don't have to scramble or be super stressed. So reach out to everyone that's involved in your wedding. Venue, DJ, caterer, officiant, everyone, and just see where they're at, see what days they have available, what their policies would be if you were to take action, okay? And then the next thing too is, what alternatives do you have, and what alternatives do you feel comfortable with? Because one thing that you can't do, one thing that I really discourage you to do, is to sacrifice your wedding, to sacrifice your dream day. You still can get the wedding of your dreams, and so please don't just settle for something, okay? So you have so many alternatives. You could do a virtual wedding. You could do a small ceremony right now on your original date, and then just plan the big party for later when all of this has, swept, is gone. And then, or you could do it for a vow renewal or a wedding anniversary. So don't give up what you've dreamt of for so long, because it's just, no, don't let these circumstances rob that from you, okay? And then the other thing too, this is still in step 4. The other thing too is, let's say you need a smaller guest list, or your venue goes back down to 25% capacity or something like later on, if the restrictions ever get more strict. What can you then do with that extra money? Because y'all, heads cost a lot of money. When you have more guests, you pay more money. It's just as simple as that. It's a direct correlation. And so when you are able to decrease the guest list, you have more money that you can spend. And so think about what you might want to splurge on that, whether you get a really awesome wedding cake, or you have more money to spend on your dress, or you have an upgrade in your DJ services and you get really cool uplighting, or a dance floor show, like light show or something. So you have some options, and just give yourself that gift. Let yourself splurge. If you have to cut down your guest list, then compensate it elsewhere and let yourself have some fun and make it really, really special. So I want to ask you guys if you have a plan B right now. If you have reached out to your venue, if you've reached out to your vendors, even if your date is still on, if your original date is still on, even if your second date is still on, I know that many of you have had to move your dates, have you reached out to them and just asked, like, hey, what if this happens? What if? Do you know their policies regarding refunds, cancellations, postponements? So let me know if you've done that. Okay, Ashley, my maid of honor, got married in April with just the family. Oh, that sounds so special. How was that, Ashley? Yvette, my friend is getting married and serving family-style meals. Good. That's a great way to keep hands from touching things. Now they have to change that to, oh, I should have read before. Okay, now they have to change that to buffet or single plates. Yeah, if you do a buffet line, please ask your servers or ask your caterers to be the servers, just so then guests aren't self-serving and getting all their germs everywhere on those utensils. Some guests can't come because they are from out of town. Yeah, that makes sense. And that sucks too, is that even though venues are reopening, travel is still hard as well. And especially how your guests and your family feel about it too. It's like, these venues might be open, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your guests are comfortable. Shelby, it's going to be at the park. Good. That's great that it's outside. Outside is a great option too, you guys. Outside is much better than inside right now, especially with this going on. Park with at most likely 30 people. If that, okay. The bride's dad is marrying them. The groom's mom is making food and cake. That sounds great. Ashley, we got told that we would be good to go as long as the weather is good. Okay, it's an outside venue, yeah. And make sure that you have a plan B for that too, Ashley. If you're having an outdoor wedding, always, always, always have a plan B, always, if there's bad weather. I haven't started a plan B yet. So yeah, Faith, just reach out to your venue, your vendors, and see what they're doing. Okay, so this last and final thing, step 5, is you need to give yourself hope. And I know that this has been really stressful. It's been really confusing, really frustrating, really discouraging, because you've had this dream wedding in your mind for months, if not years. And it is just really deflating when you have had to change a lot about it, or postpone, or move your date, and it was the perfect date and you were so excited, and it just sucks. It really does. And my heart really hurts for you guys. And that's why I'm so encouraged that so many of you have been absolute troopers and just have seen the positivity in it. And I really just know that I am continuing to pray for you guys, and know that I'm always here if you need anything. And so I want to encourage you to give your dream wedding a chance. Like I mentioned before, don't just settle. Don't just settle on what restrictions this pandemic or your venue is giving you. Just modify it, or just delay it, or have 2 celebrations. I had one couple that got married in late May, on May 25th, Memorial Day, and that was going to be their wedding. That was their original date, and they decided just to do a small ceremony, but then they're doing the big reception and like the same wedding in November. And so it's awesome, because then you get to wear your dress twice, you get to have 2 wedding cakes, you get to do all of these things twice, which, like, again, I definitely understand how hard it's been. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I don't understand how hard it's been, but I can try to understand how hard it's been. And I can't even imagine, with me being a bride, if that I was engaged, how hard it would be. But I want to just remind you guys that there is so much positivity. There are so many things that you have to be grateful for, and because all that matters at the end of the day is that you get to marry your best friend and be with them for the rest of your life. And so I really encourage you to not give up your dream wedding, but just to modify it, to mold it with the circumstances of today, and to just change it in a way where you can still have it. So those are the 5 reasons. So I'll go over them again really quickly. Let me know if you need me to go over another number or bullet point or anything if you missed something on the worksheet. So the first reason why you need to still be planning during this pandemic: venues and vendors are going fast, and you need to catch them before they're all booked up, especially on your date. 2, you have more time to plan now than you really ever have, or more free time now than you ever have. So use this free time to plan your wedding and use that to your advantage. 3, weddings are back and they're happening. And so just plan like normal. Just plan like it's going to happen. But then have a plan B. Step 4, you need to have a plan B. Even if you don't use plan B, it just will give your mind peace and your heart peace that if you do need to utilize that, then you already have it and you don't have to stress out in the time being, or when the time comes. And then 5, give yourself hope. Give yourself hope that your dream wedding can happen. Don't just settle for something. Don't just give up. But you owe yourself this, you owe your dream wedding this, and just be encouraged. Be encouraged, stay positive, and remember just remember the most important things about it, which is celebrating with your family, celebrating this amazing union and covenant that you're making with both yourselves and God, and that it's just He's given you this amazing blessing, and that you found your favorite person, and that you get to spend the rest of your life with them. So let me know if y'all have any questions. I'll stay on for about another minute or two, just to make sure that all the questions have gone, or that I've seen them. But yeah, let me know if this was helpful. Was this helpful, you guys? Let me know what other questions you have, if you need anything about what we talked about. Alrighty, I'm not seeing any other questions, so if you have questions, just let me know. But I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and an amazing Friday and weekend, and I will see you guys soon. Oh, and don't forget about tonight with our weekly hangout at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Come with your PJs, messy buns, favorite beverage, and we'll just hang out and have a great time. All right. Love you guys, and I will see you tonight. Bye.